funny you mentioned they're
I
right
know,
next
that's
up.
why I went into that, because I love this is a big fat fucking F bomb for me on these Warriors. This is an F F F F F. All their decision making has led them to this, and their decision making led them to 4 championships. But that wasn't this year's offseason grades. That was the prior year. So shout out to you guys. You went all in, but now you're going to waste Steph Curry's twilight years on junk.
Yep.
You are not a playoff team. You are not a play-in team.
Yep.
You should. This will never happen in a million years. Don't aggregate this. Y'all should trade Steph today. Get the picks back. Rebuild your team. You tried to get Wiseman. He sucks. You paid Jordan Poole, and then you dumped him in a salary dump. You sent out a pick, brought in Chris Paul, then you waived his ass for nothing. So you literally traded away a pick to get rid of Jordan Poole. He was supposed to be your second phase. It was supposed to be Poole, Moody, Kuminga, Wiseman. Fail, 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 fail. These guys act like Kuminga is Michael Jordan. That's what Warriors fans act like. They Warriors fans act the way Sacramento Kings fans act about Keegan Murray. Oh no, he's untouchable. No. You can't have Keegan. Keegan is the next Kawhi Leonard. Keegan is Kawhi Leonard right now. That's how Kings fans. That's how Warriors fans act about Kuminga. You got Steph and Draymond Green, who will be suspended. Imagine how he's going to act when they start losing. Yep. I'm saying, hey, he gets kicked out of games now when they're winning. Imagine, the Warriors just lost their 9th straight game. He's going to be kicking people in the balls all over the place. So you lose Chris Paul. You literally waive Chris Paul for nothing. You couldn't have sent him out anywhere. You couldn't have got a 2nd round pick for Chris Paul. I'm just saying, you thought you were going to trade for Paul George. The Bulls called the Warriors and said, yo, we'll send you Levine. You send us Wiggins and Paul. And the Warriors like, nah. And they cut Paul. You wouldn't have been better next year with Zach LaVine on your team? I'm speaking the truth here. Stephen Levine, at least Stephen Levine is interesting to watch. Zach LaVine scores 28 points a night. That dude can put the ball in the hoop. I don't care how much he makes. That's the front office's job to figure out. You're running back Steph and Wiggins and Kuminga next year. You ain't got no Clay. You got Draymond. Remember, this team got bounced out in the play-in by the Kings, who lost 6 times in a row to the Pelicans, who then got bounced out of the playoffs. There's levels to this shit. And right now the Warriors are, still waiting in the security line to get into the club. They're not even in the elevator to get to the lower levels of the club. They ain't even in the club yet. They got Steph. They should trade him. They never will. I know they won't. They should trade him for the second wave of the Golden State Warriors, which won't be a free agency destination and have probably had the highlight of, you win 4 championships. It's amazing. Don't get me wrong. Yep. They're lucky Steph rolled his ankle a bunch and they were able to sign him to that 4-year, $40 million contract originally. They're lucky the salary cap spiked abnormally large 1 year to sign Kevin Durant. Congratulations. But now they have somebody called Lindy Waters III. Don't know who that is. I know who D'Anthony Melton is. That's cool. Clay's gone.
D'Anthony Melton for 1 year, 12.8 though.
Chris Paul's gone. Well, what else are you going to do?
I'm just saying. Yeah, I know.
There's only contracts they can sign. And the funny thing about Warriors fans is you need to understand that your owner is celebrating these aprons. Because if these aprons, the first and second aprons didn't exist, they'd have had to sign Clay. They'd have had to give him all the money in the world. But he could be like, oh, nope, sorry, aprons can't do it. We got to let Clay go. Because the owner knows Clay's washed. The front office knows Clay's washed. The only person that doesn't know that Clay's washed is Warriors fans and Clay.
Who felt disrespected?
What are they running out next year? They got Steph, they got Draymond, they got Kuminga. You're gonna tell me Pod is I heard on Warriors radio today, which unfortunately I have to listen to due to my proximity, that Moody and Pod and Picks should be able to get them Laurie from the Jazz. And I'm like,
it's a statement.
Laurie today is better than Kuminga may ever be. Yeah. I like Kuminga. He may develop. But you guys haven't developed anyone else. You didn't develop Wiseman. You sent Jordan Poole off. How much better would this team be right now if they had traded Draymond instead of Poole?
The Warriors squandered their opportunity to continue the legacy that they had, but they squandered it away with all their picks and their mishandlings and their mishaps and their decisions that led them to this point today. They had every golden opportunity in the world to continue, draft well, develop, and now sit with a good squad still, but they didn't because of the decisions and the development that they ended up coming away with.
But you
Not
know
good.
what? Not to talk about the years prior, because that doesn't matter. We're not taking context into their grade here. The Warriors assumption that Steph Curry was going to age like yogurt outside in the Sacramento summer heat. That's what they thought. And instead, Steph has aged like a dry aged ribeye. Steph is still a fantastic player at this point in his career.
Yep.
And we've talked about in the past, he could play till he's 40 if he wanted to, which he won't. I don't think he will, because I think he's going to want to retire with the Warriors. But if he wanted to be Ray Allen the last 4 years of his career for the Miami Heat or the Boston Celtics and just sit in the corner and shoot threes, he could do that, right?
Yep.
But they expected him to not age the way he has. So Wiseman was going to get a shit ton of playing time. Poole, Kuminga, Moses Moody. This was going to be the future of the Warriors. But Steph was like, no. I'm Steph Curry. I'm one of the greatest players of all time. I'm going to continue on and be great no matter what happens. And now they're kind of stuck. Wiseman sucks. They burned that pick, and that happens. I mean, the Kings
now he's on the
drafted
Pacers.
Marvin Bagley. Detroit Pistons legend Wiseman. And they got. Does anyone think that Andrew Wiggins is going back to where he was a couple years ago? The dude had 1 year. He was mediocre his entire career. He went to the Warriors. He had a great year, and now he's been, any minutes that Wiggins plays over Kuminga is just a waste of time at this point. And all this to say, I'm excited. I'm excited for the Warriors next season. I'm excited. I'm excited that Klay went 0 for 11 in his final game as a Warrior and the Kings sent him home. I'm excited that they're going to be dog shit next year. I want the season to start today. I'm excited.
Well, Drew gave the analysis. I'll just throw out D+ and move on to